It starts with a spark and becomes a beacon, lighting the way. When the games are gone, the games go on. Turn up. Take part. Orange Store. Fuel the spirit.
Recycling sounds good on its own, but when it's done right, it's even more rewarding. And with Green Depot's express service, there's no waiting. Just drop and go. Who wouldn't love the sound of that? Visit greendepotnl.ca to learn more.
A strong performer uses power wisely. The Toyota BZ4X is the official electric vehicle of the 2025 Canada Games. See our full electrified lineup at shoptoyota.com.
Welcome back, everybody, to our continued coverage here from the Canada Summer Games in beautiful St. John's, Newfoundland and Labrador. Today, we are at the beautiful Fortis Canada Games Complex for some more track action. Some medals being handed out tonight. Going to be an exciting evening. As always, I'm joined by Adam Dunphy. Adam, a big night starting with the long 1,500 meter in the men's and women's. What can we expect from these runs?
Well, this will be a straight final, no A and B final here. We'll have 12 women coming to the line here, 3 3/4 laps around the track here in St. John's.
There you see the athletes warming up. Little weather report hasn't changed that much from this afternoon as we left a couple hours ago. Maybe a little bit cooler. It's definitely cool, a cool evening, but the wind, not so much a factor right now. But as we've seen all week, that can change in an instant, literally. So as we get ready to run, we'll introduce the competitors here in this 1,500 women's open finals. Wearing hip number 1 from New Brunswick, Zoe Fullerton. Wearing hip number 2 from Newfoundland and Labrador, Allie Wilkins. Wearing hip number 3 from Quebec, Leanne Baril. Hip number 4 from Saskatchewan, Hannah Rogers. Hip number 5 from Saskatchewan, Hannah Gates. Wearing hip number 6 from Nova Scotia, Frances McLeod. Wearing hip number 7 from Ontario, Hallie Nelson. Wearing hip number 8 from Manitoba, Lena Claassen. Hip number 9 from Quebec, Meredith Boyer. And wearing hip number 10 from New Brunswick, Allison Wasson. Hip number 11 from Ontario, Maya Markowska. And wearing hip number 12 from Alberta, Jenica Swartz. So here we go, underway in this 1,500 meter. Adam, take us through what we can expect in this 1,500 meter in terms of distance.
Well, you get 3 3/4 laps around the track here, and Jenica Swartz, hip number 12 from Alberta, the one to keep an eye on. She was the quickest in the prelims, and there you see her moving out to the early lead. She was 6th at the Canadian Track and Field Championships earlier this summer in Ottawa.
And she certainly was impressive in those prelims, but also, if you look closely, Allison Wasson from New Brunswick had a great run in that as well. And we'll keep an eye on Swartz. Wasson right with her is Swartz in the lead early on. And right behind them is Hallie Nelson, Maya Markowska of Ontario.
Certainly expect to see Markowska in the mix. She was the silver medalist in the U20 race at those Canadian Track and Field Championships. And she was the 2nd quickest in the prelims behind Swartz.
There you see Hallie Nelson starting to move up on the outside from Ontario as well. Markowska still there as well in 5th. Trying to catch on the inside from Saskatchewan is Hannah Gates, now sitting 3rd. And Wasson with an early pass, so she's now your leader. Jenica Swartz right behind her from Alberta.
Wasson finding some room on the inside there on Swartz and takes advantage of it, but still a very tightly packed contingent of runners here.
And their potential move from Maya Markowska. You mentioned her. Certainly an outstanding performance throughout the week. And there's Hallie Nelson as well on the outside. So Ontario potentially looking to make a move, but still your top 3. Wasson, Swartz. And I believe Gates sitting in third. There's a good look as they start on the back as Boyer also looking to make a move from Quebec. There you see her starting to pick up the pace a little bit. Top of the field starting to separate now, and Schwartz takes back the lead, passing Lawson on the outside. Right behind her as well is Saskatchewan. And Hannah Gates. Right behind them, two Ontario teammates, Hallie Nelson and Maya Markowska, as they go into that turn. So here's Schwartz. Reminder, medals on the line here. Schwartz looking to hold that lead. We saw her in the prelims start to really separate from the pack. We'll see if that happens again, but right behind her is Hannah Gates. Markowska trying to keep the pace as well. So there's your top three as Wasson down to fourth, and there's another pass once again from Hallie Nelson of Ontario. So things getting interesting. 5 at the top. Jenica Schwartz in the lead. There you get a look at it, trying to separate herself from Hannah Gates, currently in second. Picking up the pace now, Schwartz picking up speed into that turn. Gates right behind her. Double Ontario behind them, and there's a look at the crew trying to catch the pack. Schwartz still out in front. So here we go. It's a battle. Schwartz still out front. Here comes Hannah Gates trying to make a charge now on that outside lane. Is that finish line getting closer and closer, but a great blast of speed from Schwartz trying to get there first. As they move in, it's going to be Schwartz and Alberta for gold. Gates for Saskatchewan silver. And third over the line from Ontario, I believe it was Hallie Nelson. We'll have to get another look on that as they finish up. There's Boyer from Quebec coming through in a great race from everyone. And there you see the fatigue. Well, what a display of endurance here in this 1,500 meters. As we finish up. So the 1,500 meters women's division in the books. We'll take another look at it momentarily. Adam, take us through and give us your thoughts on this exciting race.
Well, that was an excellently executed race by the winner there, Jenica Schwartz. She made her move at the right time, and then no one could counter her but Hannah Gates. Gates ran 4:48.50 in the prelims. That was about 13 seconds slower than Schwartz was. But Gates tucked in with that lead pack, and she held strong, and she comes across the line for second place. Still waiting on those final times. Wonder if Gates may have challenged her PB here. She came in with a personal best in the 1,500 of 4:25.95. Ran that back in June. So wait and see what her final time is going to be here. Here are the times: 4:18.63 for Schwartz to take the win, 4:19.75 for Gates for silver. So that is a very nice improvement on her personal best. And Hallie Nelson, 4:21.53 to pick up the bronze.
And what a moment then for certainly Jenica Schwartz taking the gold medal, but also silver medalist Hannah Gates really improving, as you mentioned. That's got to be a great feeling. It's always good to beat your personal best no matter when it is, but to win a silver medal at the Canada Summer Games on top of that makes it feel a little bit extra special nonetheless. And here's a look at the official results across the board. Adam, anything jump out at you when you look at those results?
Well, I got to go back to Gates. She knocked more than 6 seconds off her listed personal best. Now, sometimes for the younger athletes, and Gates is born in 2008, traditionally use the World Athletics website to get personal best. Sometimes it's not the most accurate for these younger athletes, but not having anything else to go on right now, I'm going to go 4:25.95 as Gates' previous personal best. but 4:19.75, taking more than 6 seconds off of that. Very impressive run for the silver for Gates, Jenica Swartz. Now she follows up a 6th place finish at the Canadian Track and Field Championships with a victory here at the Canada Games. And Hallie Nelson rounding out the podium with that 4:21.53 clocking for bronze.
So an outstanding performance from our top 3 and everybody in this race. And there, we're going to stay with the coverage here as the men's athletes out on the track already getting ready is coming up momentarily. It's the men's 1,500 meters. Here you see them getting their final preps in, their final warm-ups, as we're just moments away from beginning this race. So looking across the board, we'll read the competitors right now. Wearing hip number 1, David Waller of Nova Scotia. Wearing hip number 2 of Prince Edward Island, Alex Rogers. Wearing hip number 3 of British Columbia, Noah Lewis. Hip number 4 from New Brunswick, Brody Penny. Wearing hip number 5 from Manitoba, Justin Croker. Wearing hip number 6 from Quebec, Nolan Turgeon. Wearing hip number 7 from Ontario, Tanner Huglin. Wearing hip number 8 from Ontario, Dakota Goggin. Wearing hip number 9 from Saskatchewan, Jonathan Podbilski. Wearing hip number 10 from Quebec, Robin Lefebvre. Wearing hip number 11 from Newfoundland and Labrador, Sawyer LeBlanc. And wearing hip number 12 from Nova Scotia, Silas Conlin Morse. So looking at that field heading into this 1,500 meters, is there anyone who jumps out at you, Adam, and perhaps a participant to watch for as this race goes on?
We saw a lot of these competitors in the 3:53 range in the prelims, so this should be a very close final. Robin Lefebvre, coming back to him, we've talked a lot about him so far this week. He is the Canadian U20 champion over this distance, and he is also the 2nd youngest Canadian to break 4 minutes for the mile, so he will certainly be one of those competitors in the mix here. Fastest in the prelims was Sawyer LeBlanc, and he might get a bit of a home province boost here as he is on the Newfoundland and Labrador team. So LeBlanc's got hip 11, Lefebvre hip 10. Jonathan Podbilski from Saskatchewan, also someone to keep an eye on. He was 7th at the Canadian Track and Field Championships.
So underway, and here we go. And a good start from Noah Lewis from British Columbia, out to an early lead. Alex Rogers from Prince Edward Island, currently sitting in 2nd. Right behind them, I believe, is Robin Lefebvre, who you mentioned, and Sawyer LeBlanc in the mix as well. Adam, in these long races must be so important to get out to a good start.
Well, what you're seeing right now is that's Alex Rogers out at the front, and he's sort of taking a look around, seeing if anyone wants to take on these leading duties right now. Still have a win in St. John's, as you'd expect at St. John's, so is anyone else going to want to be the windbreaker for the group right now so they could draft off them? Still very, very tight, and we saw in that opening lap there was a little bit of contact. Some of these athletes had their arms out just trying to stabilize themselves, and no one went down. So that is a positive. So it will be now Rogers who is going to move back out into the front, and now they are stretching out a bit on that back straightaway.
So Rogers putting on a little bit of speed. Right behind him is Noah Lewis of British Columbia. And of course Sawyer LeBlanc just behind them in 3rd place from Newfoundland and Labrador at the moment. Saskatchewan and Podbilski right behind those top 3 as it stands right now. And Podbilski does make a move, and he's potentially looking to make another one right now as Rogers still leading ahead of Lewis of BC. And here's a move on his own is Sawyer LeBlanc, taking back 3rd as the local crowd certainly coming alive as they round that turn in front of the field house, where a lot of the crowd gathers. Alex Rogers, he's led for most of this race, Alex. Take us through perhaps what he's thinking in terms of strategy.
Well, Rogers was 3:55.26 in those prelims, so he was in the mix. Again, there were a lot of athletes in the 3:53 range. So I wonder if Rogers is just thinking, okay, I've got to make my move here, see if I can break this field, because there are some competitors who have a little more of a kick than Rogers does. So if he wants to make a claim for that gold medal, he's going to have to try and put the work in a little earlier, but the crowd has caught back up to him. This is still anyone's race, though.
Tight.
Look
at Lefebvre. And now, in that turn, a big movement. You talk about a reset in the order. Adam, we haven't seen that all week, just so fast. The top three just completely changed, as right now it's Conlon Morse from Nova Scotia with the lead. But Podbilski trying to chase him as Lefebvre in second for Quebec. So here we go. Podbilski putting some speed on now. Making that turn, and he said, I've still got some in the tank. And here we go around that final turn. Podbilski leading from Saskatchewan. Lefebvre from Quebec trying to chase him. Down the inside. Who's it going to be? Crossing the line. Oh no! And a tumble at the line. An interesting finish. And there he is, Robin Lefebvre takes a tumble at the end, but I believe he was first across. He'll take the gold medal. What a showdown with him and Podbilski. So Adam, talk us through this and how we get these official results as we take a look.
Well, again, it was so tightly packed for much of this race. But then on that final lap, in that final 200 meters, that's when Podbilski made his move, made a good charge on the outside as they went into the corner. And then it came down to that, that was a lap earlier. And here's the final straightaway. Podbilski was looking around. He was looking for Lefebvre. And I don't think he initially thought that Lefebvre was coming up on the inside. You could see he sort of went to his outside first, didn't see him, looked to his inside, and then I think he tried to course correct because he saw there was some room on the inside for Lefebvre to make that move, and he tried to close it off, and that's where the contact came from because Lefebvre was still trying to get through that opening on the inside. They make contact, and in the end, I think Lefebvre is going to get the nod here, though, but I wonder if there is going to be some discussions afterwards because there was pretty significant contact there.
Certainly was. Kind of wonder if we can get another look at it. Coming in at the finish line. It was certainly hard to pick up what had happened from our vantage point. And there's a look at Podbilski from Saskatchewan. I'm going to stay with the action here and hopefully get another look at that finish. I'll let you know if that is available. Here it is. So take us through it, Adam.
So take a look at Podbilski, sort of looking around, and then Lefebvre finds the opening on the inside, but Podbilski made a move to try and close that inside lane. So here he is looking around. He realizes the challenge is coming from the inside. He was about the middle of the lane there, and Lefebvre tries to squeeze through. And in the end, he does so, but he ends up going down in the process. So this is going to take the timers a moment to figure this all out.
And you think about just when the contact was made just before the finish line, and a 1,500 meter with a big dash at the end, almost sprinting with whatever they have left. Any bit of contact can certainly have a big effect on the body in terms of balance, and So we'll stay with it. We'll try to bring you the official word once we get it. There's a look at Pabilski. Nonetheless, certainly an exciting finish. What a push from Pabilski just before that last turn.
That was very exciting finish, Robbie, with
here's another
coming
look.
Down to those two. This is going to be a great look. You see Podbielski's trying to shut down that lane, and then it was Lefebvre making the contact, and he goes down. And it was Lefebvre as he was in that sitting position on the track, like, hey, what happened? Like, that's got to be some sort of foul there, but it was Lefebvre who initiated that contact, trying to find the lane on the inside. And the times are posted, so Lefebvre now on the board, 3:48.04. So as things stand right now, that is going to get him the gold medal. Then Podbielski, 3:48.40 for the silver, and then Silas Conlon-Morse from Nova Scotia, 3:50.60 for the bronze medal.
An outstanding finish in that grueling 1,500 meter. You can certainly tell as well, Adam, with medals on the line, the intensity is turned up, to say the least, in all these athletes, as it should be. So we're going to get set up for our next race, which is the women's 4x100 meter relay. We're going to step out for just a moment. We'll join you again moments before that race begin. It's tracked from St. John's, Newfoundland and Labrador. It's the Canada Summer Games. So welcome back to our coverage here of the Summer Games 2025 in beautiful St. John's, Newfoundland and Labrador. Tonight we are at the Fortis Canada Games Complex for more track and field action. Terrific races so far. If you're just joining us, as always, I have Adam Dunphy joining me to provide his expertise on the sport. Adam, as we approach this women's 4x100 meter relay, talk us through what this is, what the race means, the distances they'll go, and perhaps some strategy that they'll try to execute.
Execute is the perfect word for the relays, Robbie, because you can have the 4 fastest people on a team, but if they are not executing those handoffs correctly, then in the end it's not going to matter. So this will be the the B final, which will be up first. 3 teams will be in the field for this, and following that it will be the A final, where the medals will be on the line.
So we'll see 2 finals, as you mentioned. The first one being heat number 1 here with Prince Edward Island. They'll be in lane 4. Yukon in lane 5 and Northwest Territories in lane 6. As we get set to start this, so 4x100. These relay races are always so fun to watch. As we get closer and closer to beginning this B final.
So fun to watch, especially if you're a Canadian track and field fan. Of course, at the Paris Olympics, it was Canada's men's 4x1 team taking the gold.
Who can forget that? Certainly so exciting, that finish. So here we see the athletes ready to get lined up, take this in. Wind picking up slightly here in St. John's, another cool night. What kind of factor that plays? Prince Edward Island, Yukon, and Northwest Territories.
The Canada Games record in this event was set at the last games back in 2022. It was 44.74. That was the team from Quebec running on that team, Audrey Leduc, who of course now holds the Canadian record in the 100 and 200 meters.
And that's what makes these games so special, Adam, is you see the future stars of sports in their early stages of their journey as a high-performance athlete. We've seen, if you take a look at the list of alumni through any sport, it's pretty neat to go back and see who has taken part in these games. It looks like we're getting ready to get started here in this B final, the women's 4x100 meter relay. Prince Edward Island, lane 4. Yukon, lane 5. Northwest Territories outside in lane 6. So here we go, a good start early on from the Northwest Territories on the outside. Prince Edward Island looking to gain some ground here on the turn as we get ready for the first exchange. Coming up, it will be Prince Edward Island making the change first in lane 4 as they try to seek the lead. They do, but it's neck and neck right now. And Prince Edward Island gaining a lead. There you see Yukon and Northwest Territories trying to fight it out for second place as PEI gets the baton around once again as we close in 3/4 of the way through this. On this turn, a big run from PEI trying to make the handoff. They do, and here it comes down to the wire. PEI with a large lead at the moment. Yukon trying to chase, though. Some work to do. As they head towards the finish line, it's going to be PEI taking the B final here in the 4x100 meter relay. A great effort from Yukon to finish second. and Northwest Territories will finish third. So one in the books. And a nice race from the team in green.
Strong legs all around from Prince Edward Island. They got off to a good start. And that first handoff is really where they took control of this race. It was pretty seamless. And away in a hurry. Their handoffs across the board, very strong. Again, that is the key to these relay races. You need the speed, but you need the technical prowess as well to get those handoffs away clean, and PEI does just that, and they get the victory here in the B final.
So a nice finish for all these relay teams here who competed in the B final. And a reminder, momentarily we will have the A final coming up with medals on the line. Gonna be a busy one with 8 lanes in that race. Now you see as the officials get ready to get the starting line set up once again. These tense moments before these medal races, certainly fun to take in. See those orange jackets. Those are the volunteers here in St. John's, thousands of them making these games possible, and what a wonderful job they've done. A big thank you to all of them for the time that they put in throughout the last 2 weeks. Still a couple days of competition remaining, tomorrow and Sunday. Reminder, we will have multi-sport coverage both days throughout the day. And of course, the closing ceremonies on Sunday night, and if it's anything like the opening ceremonies, it's going to be outstanding, and high energy would be an understatement. So there you see Prince Edward Island celebrating as they just won the B final here in the women's 4x100 meter relay.
Well, the closing ceremonies, Robbie, are always more of a party because all the hard work's done. Now you just get to relax and have fun.
Adam, of course I agree with you, and that is absolutely correct. But if you saw these opening ceremonies, if that's not a party, I don't know what your definition was. It was outstanding. We literally, Adam, had a kitchen party on the floor, all the teams getting up and dancing. And that was what was so special about it. Not just dancing with their own teams, but they were meeting new people, getting out on the floor, joining other teams, making circles, dancing around. And then you saw the teams who were seated in the bowl section making their way down the stairs onto the floor and keeping it going. It was certainly a special moment in the history. It was a pleasure to be there on hand for that. And as you mentioned, if you thought the opening was a party, wait till the closing. Well, it's going to be an outstanding show. The energy will be through the roof nonetheless, as only St. John's can do. As the team's starting to make their way out onto the track to get warmed up. So we're going to step out for a moment as we're still just over 5 minutes out. We'll join you moments before that A final of the 4x100 meter relay. Don't go anywhere. It's track from the Canada Summer Games here in beautiful St. John's, Newfoundland and Labrador. So welcome back to our continued coverage of the Canada Summer Games. The time has come for the women's 4x100 meter A final. Medals on the line. In lane 1, we have New Brunswick. Lane 2, Nova Scotia. Lane 3, Manitoba. Lane 4, British Columbia. Lane 5, Ontario. Lane 6, Alberta. Lane 7, Saskatchewan. And lane 8, Newfoundland and Labrador. As the athletes have made their way out in preparation for this big medal race coming up. Adam, we saw an exciting B final moments ago. The A final should be nothing short of spectacular.
And one thing we do know is that there will be a new champion in 2025. Quebec not entering a team in these 4x1s on the women's side this year. Alberta was the silver medal winning team a year ago. Saskatchewan took the bronze, and Saskatchewan has a member of that bronze winning team on their team here in 2025, and that is Selena Kajowski. And looks like she is going to be running the anchor leg she's going to be running the opening leg, or at least she is scheduled to run the opening leg for Team Saskatchewan.
There you get a look at Team Saskatchewan right now. A look of focus. There's Alberta. Fun to see how the intensity certainly turns up when medals are on the line, as they are right here. We're just moments away from the women's 4x100 meter relay. A final. So here we go. By 100 meter. Women's relay. A final. And off we go. A big start on the outside from Saskatchewan and Newfoundland and Labrador as they try to gain distance. We saw how important that handoff was in the B final. Let's get a look at this one coming up, and a smooth transition from Ontario as they pick up pace, trying to gain distance on Saskatchewan, and it looks like they will. Here's the next look at the handoffs coming up in this second turn. And Ontario going to be pushed on the inside, I believe, from British Columbia, just next door to them as we round that turn. So coming around the corner, BC trying to hold on to the lead. Not able to make the handoff was Ontario. So there's Saskatchewan and Manitoba fighting over second and third. It's BC going to cross first for gold. Looks like Saskatchewan silver and Manitoba for bronze. But an outstanding race, entertaining to watch. What a finish.
Robbie, we talk about the importance of the handoffs, and it is no more evident there than for Ontario. They had a great opening leg, and then things started to fall apart on those handoffs, and that opened the door for BC, and they take full advantage of it. This second exchange, Ontario struggled, but it was that final handoff where things really came off the rails for Ontario. There it is, just unable to execute there. And then BC powers through the line for the gold. And they come through in 45.73 for that gold. Saskatchewan picks up the silver and Manitoba the bronze. And in the end, Ontario will come across in 8th.
So certainly a change of the tides, but that's relay. You mentioned it so many times this week. We talked about it, speed being so important, but the importance of teamwork and making those handoffs clean can make the difference in a relay. Perfect example. This one in the books. to see that happen on the big stage. Certainly part of the race. Here's a look at all the teams congregating after, and there you see them chatting and celebrating. BC certainly excited after that big win, and rightfully so. So British Columbia, here's the time of 45.73. Take us through these results, Adam, and give us your thoughts.
British Columbia, they were in the mix in 2022, although back 3 years ago, they finished, I believe it was just off the podium, as they came through in 4th. Hannah Sobkowicz was a member of that BC team in 2022. In 2025, she's going to be at the top of the podium with her teammate Saskatchewan. They move up a spot at this year's Canada Games. They were the bronze medalists last year. Alberta, the silver medalist last year, they're going to finish in 4th. And Manitoba, they get themselves on the podium. They weren't even in the top 8 last Canada Games, so that's going to feel pretty good for the Manitoba side.
Certainly would. So an exciting 2 women's relay finals, the A and the B. We're going to have the men's final coming up momentarily. We'll step out for a moment and join you before that race to introduce the teams. So don't go anywhere. That's coming up in about 9 minutes time, we're being told. I believe it's scheduled for 6 minutes. So I would plan for 6 minutes. That race will go at 6:20 p.m. Newfoundland and Labrador time. So we'll see you in a few moments. We'll queue up that race. A lot of excitement in the air here at Fortis Canada Games Complex in St. John's. Welcome back, everyone, to our continued coverage of the Canada Summer Games from beautiful St. John's, Newfoundland and Labrador. Tonight, we are at the Fortis Canada Games Complex for track and field action. We just witnessed two terrific women's 4x100 meter relays. And right now, we're going to turn our attention and focus on the men's. So we have two finals, going to start off with the B final. And next being the A final with medals on the line. So Adam, we've seen a lot of close ones tonight. We saw some communication errors, so much that goes into these relays. What should these athletes be talking about right now, and is there anything perhaps they've learned from watching the last two?
Well, I think from watching that last race, it just hammers home the point of how important those handoffs are. And hopefully these two teams have had ample time to practice and sort of know the idiosyncrasies of their teammates. And we'll see if they can get around the track clean here in this territory tussle.
So here we go in lane 4, Yukon. Lane 5, the Northwest Territories. Two teams on the track, and there's the first handoff. Oh, and a stumble from Northwest Territory. So Yukon able to gain some distance here on the back end of the track with the third handoff coming up, and a clean one from Yukon. But Northwest Territory is doing a good job of staying close, as once again not able to make that handoff as clean, and Yukon coming around the turn looking to finish strong. It feels like they potentially could be unchallenged here as the finish line approaches, as Lefebvre finish things off for Yukon. And it will be Northwest Territories in second in this one, but a great effort by them to cross the line as they finish up. So a great run from Yukon, a couple struggles from the Northwest Territories with the handoffs, as we talked about so many times being so important in these relays. Let's take another look at this one. Talk us through it, Adam.
Well, that first handoff, unfortunately for the team for the Northwest Territories, just didn't go according to plan. The second handoff, a little better, but then another struggle at that third handoff. The Yukon was clean the whole way through, and they come across in 47.06.
So great job by the Yukon there to win the B final. And there's a look as competitors in the A finals making their way out to the track. Looks like we're still a few moments away, so we'll step out for a moment and join you a minute and a half before this race takes off. Medals are on the line this time. It's the 4x100 meter men's relay coming up. Stay tuned. Welcome back to our continuing coverage of the Canada Summer Games in beautiful Newfoundland and Labrador here in the capital city of St. John's. Terrific to begin the men's 4x100 meter relay. This is the A final with medals on the line. So we'll meet the teams in lane 1, Newfoundland and Labrador. In lane 2, New Brunswick. In lane 3, Prince Edward Island. In lane 4, Quebec. In lane 5, Nova Scotia. In lane 6, Ontario. Lane 7, Manitoba. And in lane 8, Saskatchewan. So a big race. We saw handoffs being a little bit of a problem in the women's A final, and then once again previously in the men's B final. Adam, talk about the importance of that and what that can mean to these races.
Well, we saw in that women's A final, Ontario, very quick runners, just they were undone by those handoffs. So the men's Ontario team looking to execute those handoffs a little stronger here. And Ontario looking to defend their title. They were the gold medalists back in 2022. The Canada Games record dates back to 2013, and it was set by the Ontario team. And the runner who ran the anchor leg for that Ontario team, none other than Andre DeGrasse.
Wow, there you see the alumni in these Canada Games. Such an exceptional event. Long list of athletes who have come through these games over the years, gone on to such tremendous careers. Just moments away from starting here. Well, here we go. Warm clothes coming off. Certainly a chilly evening tonight in St. John's. It's a chilly week here at the track. There you see the focus on all these teams. Adam, looking at the start sheet, is there any lane that pops out at you to expect who could be an early favorite in this relay?
And you can never count out Ontario with the depth they have in the sprints. Quebec should also be a threat. See Mikhail Allaire out there. Looks like he's going to run the third leg for Quebec.
Here you go. Those final moments of preparation. The 4x100 meter men's relay. Medals on the line. Well, here we go. We are underway and off. Here's Saskatchewan out to an early lead. Manitoba trying to chase, but a great start from Saskatchewan. There's a look at the turn. Ontario starting to gain some ground and a big run from them on the backstretch. And look at the distance being made up with Saskatchewan still out front. We'll see these handoffs once again. So important, as we talked about. Ontario pretty strong there, is trying to catch up now on the inside. I believe it's Quebec. And a great job in lane 4 as they turn around, and now we are coming home. Ontario and Quebec. It's a sprint off. Ontario pulling ahead, trying to get there first. It looks like Ontario gold, Quebec silver, and I believe Saskatchewan for bronze. And what a finish to this men's 4x100 meter relay in a showdown.
You gotta feel good for Travis Campbell. He ran that anchor leg for Ontario. Disappointment for him earlier in the day is he got DQ'd in the A final in the 100 meters after a false start. But here, he brings his team home to gold. And really great running from Dominic Baresi, who ran that second leg for Team Ontario. He picked up the silver medal in the 100 meters earlier today. And the handoffs, excellent for Ontario. And Travis Campbell holds off the challenge from Quebec. So it is Ontario the gold, Quebec the silver, and Saskatchewan comes through for the bronze.
A great run by Saskatchewan as well in that outside lane. Get a great start. Able to hold on for the bronze. So an exciting one here in the relay. You gotta wonder for Ontario in that final dash, perhaps a little extra pep in the step, as they say, for Campbell. Something to prove after that unfortunate disqualification earlier for him.
And of course, perhaps a little fresher, not that he would have wanted to get disqualified for that false start in the 100 meters, but his legs just perhaps, as I said, a little fresher, not having that 100 meters in him today. And he can leave these championships now feeling a little better after picking up the gold here in the 4x1.
Certainly can. And here's a look at all the athletes. So more results in the history books here in St. John's. And there's a look at the final results. You look how close that was from Ontario and Quebec and Saskatchewan, all within certainly a second, but much less than that. Manitoba behind them, New Brunswick, PEI, and Newfoundland and Labrador. So with that said, women's heptathlon 200-meter open coming up. We're going to take a moment to get the track reset, and we'll join you just before that. Stay tuned. So welcome back to our women's heptathlon 200 meters open. So Adam, for those new to the sport, maybe take us through what that heptathlon is, what it entails, and what we can expect.
So this is going to be the conclusion of day one for these athletes. The heptathlon is 7 events across 2 days. They opened up day one with the 100-meter hurdles, then had the high jump, the shot put, and now we'll close out day one with the 200 meters. Day two will have the long jump, javelin, and 800 meters. And heading into this final event of day one, it is Shalane Pritchard with the lead. She's got 2,331 points. 108 points back of her is Nevaeh Marinowski. And then in third right now, Liana Waugh. She's 137 points back of the leader, Pritchard.
That's certainly a physically demanding day for these athletes. They'll finish it off here with this heptathlon 200 meters. So 2 heats coming up. We'll meet the competitors first up in heat number 1 in lane 1. From Manitoba, Angela Gundrum. In lane 5, Riley Robitaille of Ontario. In lane 6, Isabel McKinnon of Prince Edward Island. In lane 7, Claire Covert of Nova Scotia. And in lane 8, Alyssa Fortune of PEI. So here we go, underway, and there you see Prince Edward Island leading early on, feeling pressure on the side from Covert of Nova Scotia, and a big charge right now from Riley Robitaille of Ontario into the turn. Big speed from Robitaille, but staying close to her is McKinnon of Prince Edward Island. There you see Manitoba's Gundrum on the left trying to make ground. McKinnon in second, but right now it's Robitaille of Ontario. She'll cross first. Manitoba oh, wait a minute. Close between Nova Scotia and Manitoba for that second spot. We're gonna have to take a look at that again. But an outstanding race from Robitaille.
Robitaille takes this section. She comes through in 27:09. That's gonna score her 704 points. And then it's going to be Covert from Nova Scotia, 27:58 for her. That's 664 points to her total. Then Gundrum comes through in 27:65. That'll score her 659 points.
So a high five for all the athletes. Great sportsmanship there from McKinnon. Congratulating her opponents. As the action will continue in a moment, the second heat here in this 200-meter open, part of this heptathlon final event of the day. And there's a look at the results from heat number 1. Robitaille on top, first to come through in that. Covert second. So you look at the difference, Adam, between Covert and Gundrum. Certainly a close run.
So that's going to bring Robitaille's day 1 point total, 2,725. Gundrum will finish day 1 at 2,620. Oh, excuse me, at, yes, I was right, 2,622 points, while Claire Covert will close out day 1 with 2,346 points.
So heat number 2 coming up. An exciting race is this 200 meter. The athletes being introduced to the crowd. A great crowd on hand taking this one in once again. Great support all week at the track in St. John's. Outstanding job as Fortis Canada Games Complex. Getting big numbers every day and loud crowds. It's got to be special for these athletes, Adam, hearing that loud roar every day they show up to compete.
Well, this is just such a fun event. A multi-sport games. You get to compete as a member of your provincial or territorial team. There's a lot of energy here in St. John's.
Certainly is. And there's a look at some of those fans. A great job by our crew to bring you this coverage, multi-sport coverage every day. You can find it online on YouTube, on our website, or CBC Gem. So here we go. Heat number 2. Manitoba, Alberta, Quebec, Saskatchewan, Ontario, Quebec, Saskatchewan, and Alberta being represented here. Marinowski, Feschuk, Roy, Albertson, Parker, Lavoie, Pritchard, and Zinger. Lanes 1 to 8. And we are underway. And look at the charge early on from Pritchard of Saskatchewan with a big pass. What a burst of speed off the blocks for her as she goes into the turn. And trying to catch her right beside her is Clemence Lavoie of Quebec. But right now it's Pritchard, even picking up more speed as she eyes that finish line. Right behind her is Lavoie from Quebec, trying to stay there for second. She will. Parker for third in Ontario. And a big race here in heat number 2.
Well, that is an excellent opening day for Shalane Pritchard. She comes through in 24.80. That's going to score her 905 points. And she is going to finish day 1 with 3,236 points. And she went out to the lead early here in this section. And she never gave it up. A good run for Lavoie as well. She comes through in 25.31. She scores 859 points. So she will be in 6th place after day 1. There's Paige Zinger. She's going to be holding down 4th place after day 1 with 2,930 points.
Well, Adam, I've heard you say so many times here on these broadcasts how important it is, no matter what race you're running, to get a good start. And I think the proof was in the pudding there for Saskatchewan.
Well, Pritchard, excellent sprinter. She also had the top time in the 100-meter hurdles to kick off the heptathlon competition. She finished 7th at the high jump. Then she came back and had the best score in the shot put. And now here to close out day 1, she has the best score in the 200 meters. So 905 points here for Pritchard. Again, she's sitting at 3,236 points after day 1. Nevaeh Marinowski comes through 5th in that section, and she scores 746 points for her efforts. So she is going to have 2,969 points after day 1. She is 267 points behind the leader, Pritchard. And Rebecca Parker will go into day 2 in 3rd place. She's got 2,960 points, 276 points back of the leader, Pritchard, but only 9 points back of 2nd place, Marinowski.
Well, there's a look at the track, and you can see clearly what is being set up. It's the 400-meter hurdles coming up. We'll step out for a moment and join you just before that. It won't be too long. I believe scheduled for 7 o'clock. We'll see you for that here from St. John's. So welcome back to our coverage of the Canada Summer Games here in beautiful St. John's, Newfoundland and Labrador. Thanks for joining us once again. We are still at the track here at the beautiful Fortis Canada Games Complex. So 2 finals coming up, Adam. This is in the 400-meter women's hurdles. We haven't seen this yet on our coverage. Talk us through what we can expect in the 400-meter hurdles.
We've got the B final up first and the A final, 1 lap around the track. But it's not a flat 400. They have to contend with the hurdle obstacles. And the 400-meter hurdles on the women's side, really a position of strength right now on the international scene for Canada, with Savannah Sutherland leading the way. She was the winner at the Canada Games back in 2022.
So here we go, the B final. Kate Kupka from Yukon in 3. Janelle Alanach from New Brunswick in 4. Erica Learless from Ontario, lane 5. Tis Okuboyojo from Alberta in lane 6. Delaney Self from British Columbia in 7. Alaya Denome from Nova Scotia in 8. It's the B final women's 400-meter hurdles. And here we go, beginning. And a good start from Erica Learless of Ontario, trying to gain ground. And there you see a great look at it at the back as Delaney Self currently out front, but here comes Learless, passing Okuboyojo from Alberta. And there's Learless once again now in the lead. And a good job by Okuboyojo from Alberta to hold on to second. BC now in third. In the distance back is Alaya Denome from Nova Scotia and Kate Kupka from Yukon. And look at this performance from Erica Learless over the hurdle. A clear run. Seeing that finish line getting closer. Alberta still in second place, but feeling pressure from Delaney Self of British Columbia in third. And there's a big break from New Brunswick and Janelle Alanach. It's gonna be Erica Learless from Ontario first. Second place, Alberta, BC third. And a great run here to open these 400-meter hurdles. It'll be Yukon crossing now with a big race. Let's take another look at it. Give us your thoughts, Adam, and talk us through what you saw in this B final.
Well, that was a pretty dominant performance from Ontario's Erica Learless. Got off to a very good start. She was the fastest in the prelims of those here in the B final. And she went to work pretty early, making up the stagger to her outside. And in the end, she wins by about 2.5 seconds.
Certainly a dominating performance for her. And a nice finish from everybody in this B final as they reconvene with their team and coaches. Great run. This 400-meter hurdle, certainly a physically demanding race. A fun one to watch indeed. So the A final coming up. There's the results from the previous race. You see Learless on top, 101.79. As you mentioned, just under 3 seconds ahead of Alberta in second, BC third.
You know, Robbie, they make it look so easy, these athletes, when they're out there in the hurdles, but the amount of energy and power you need to generate to get over those hurdles is quite something. If you think about maybe you're out for a run or something, it's a little rainy, you just want to jump over a puddle, but you feel like you've really expended a lot of energy just making that leap over the puddle. Well, imagine doing that several times over the course of 400 meters.
Unfortunately, Adam, I look more like a steeplechase runner when I try to jump over a puddle. don't quite make it over, but the effort is certainly there, and can certainly appreciate what you're saying, the athleticism required. And at 400 meters, certainly a physically enduring event. Hats off to all these athletes throughout the week, all the training they put forward.
Well, the flat 400 is painful enough, but then adding in the hurdles, it almost seems cruel.
It certainly does. As we get set for this A final, just taking a look at the start list. Is there any lanes perhaps we should be watching for before this race begins?
Well, a couple of competitors in this A final were in the final at the Canadian Track and Field Championships. Miriam Delon from Quebec. She's going to have lane 2. She was 6th at those championships. And then Robin Rohu, she's from BC. She's going to be on the outside in lane 8. She was 7th at those nationals. We also have Sydney Freeman in the mix. She was the bronze medalist at the U20 race, at the Canadian Championships. And Shelby McIsaac, she was the fastest in the prelims. She's from New Brunswick. She'll be in lane 4. She's run 1 minute .22 this year, and that has her as the 9th ranked athlete in Canada.
Certainly a long list of resumes here in this A final. The women's 400 meter hurdles. Big race. Intensity always turns up when medals are on the line. Let's find out the lane assignments. Starting in lane 1 from Quebec, Leah Peters. Starting in lane 2 also from Quebec, Miriam Delande. In lane 3 from Alberta, Gabby Pedersen. In lane 4 from New Brunswick, Shelby McIsaac. In lane 5 from Saskatchewan, Happy Oluwasegun. In lane 6 from Nova Scotia, Ruby Harris. Lane 7 from Ontario, Sydney Freeman. And in lane 8 from British Columbia, Robin Rohu. So here we go, final moments before this 400 meter hurdles. Women's A final, medals on the line. Here we go. And we are underway in this A final, and a good start in lane 7 from Sydney Freeman. Hanging off to a good start, trying to catch Rohu in that first turn. There's Ruby Harris from Nova Scotia. Just beside her is Oluwasegun from Saskatchewan, now currently in 3rd with a nice pass. Trying to catch the pack is Oluwasegun. Here you see out in lane 7, Sydney Freeman now takes the lead back, but still being pressured from Saskatchewan. And Oluwasegun throughout the distance, and here comes a big charge, I believe, from McIsaac of New Brunswick into this turn, putting on some speed. Here they come down into the backstretch. And it's going to be a head-to-head, Freeman and McIsaac right now. It looks like McIsaac's taking the lead and gaining. So here comes New Brunswick. And Shelby McIsaac, finish line approaching, Freeman trying to catch. It's going to be McIsaac for gold, Freeman for silver. And it looked like Oluwasegun in for bronze. Tough to see the 3rd place finisher, but what a performance, Adam, from Shelby McIsaac in that last turn.
Well, it's Sydney Freeman, who got off to a very good start. McIsaac was in the mix, but you see here, she was running at about 3rd or 4th at that hurdle. But she really went to work in the latter half of this race. And over that last hurdle, she had the lead. And then she just increased it on the final straightaway. She comes through oh so close to dipping under 60 seconds here. She comes through at 60.01 for the gold. For Riemann, 61.13 for the silver, and then it was indeed Aluwasakin getting in at 61.81 for the bronze medal.
So a great run and a big gold medal for New Brunswick. Here at track, Shelby McIsaac, a terrific job. Great patience, waited for the right time, made no mistake. So exciting times here, and there you see Rohu in 4th, Patterson in 5th, DeLand in 6th, and Harris from Nova Scotia in 7th. But a tight race right through. But in the end, it was Shelby McIsaac making that late charge and not looking back as she takes home gold. Congratulations to her, Sydney Freeman for silver, and Happy Aluwasakin for bronze. If you like that, stay tuned. The men's 400-meter relay coming up momentarily. We're going to have the B final and the A final. We'll step off for a moment. That race coming up in about 9 minutes' time. So stay tuned from St. John's.
Everything has brought her to this moment. She inches closer to the edge and summons the courage to leap. Because she knows the only way out is across when the floor is lava. Every big moment starts small.
So welcome back to our continuing coverage here at the Canada Summer Games. This time we're at the beautiful Fortis Canada Games Complex in beautiful St. John's, Newfoundland and Labrador. And here we go. We saw two great 400-meter hurdles races earlier on in the women's division. This time it's the men, starting off with the B final, so no medals on the line. But an exciting event. Any names popping out at you right now, Adam, that could be an exciting lane to watch for?
Couple of these athletes went sub 57 in the prelims. Keenan Allen from Manitoba, he ran 56.42. He's going to be in lane 3. And then Ethan Moran from BC, he ran 56.86. He will have lane 5.
There you see them setting up the lane assignments as follows. In lane 2 from Prince Edward Island, Owen Headley. In lane 3, Keenan Allen from Manitoba. In lane 4, Dawson Decoteau from Alberta. In lane 5, Ethan Moran from British Columbia. In lane 6, Christopher Rancy from Quebec. In lane 7, Dominic Lefebvre from Yukon. And in lane 8, from New Brunswick, Colton Caballero. So those are your participants as they line up at the starting line. Certainly a physically grueling race as this 400-meter hurdles, Adam. Underway right now, New Brunswick trying to jump out on top, and a good start from Saskatchewan. Early on, Owen Headley from Prince Edward Island on the inside, and a good start right now from Decoteau of Alberta, trying to make a charge for the lead in the backside of the track. As New Brunswick still out front, and a good start for Caballero of New Brunswick. There's a good move from Moran of British Columbia, trying to take second place. He's being held off right now by Decoteau of Alberta. So right now it's New Brunswick out front. He led pretty much the whole way as Decoteau trying to catch him, and he's also trying to hold off Ethan Moran, coming on strong and picking up speed. And look at Keenan Allen from Manitoba on the home stretch, trying to get that last burst of speed as New Brunswick trying to hold on. Here comes Manitoba to cross first, and they will. New Brunswick crosses second. Moran from BC, Decoteau from Alberta here in this B final. But what an effort. Keenan Allen wasn't much of a threat early on, sort of fell back, but a great effort in that last half, Adam, and finishing strong.
Only sort of waiting in the weeds was Keenan Allen, but in that final 100 meters, he turned things on and he came out of that quarter looking very strong. And he ends up coming across the line first here to time of 56.14. Caballero second, 57.43 for him. Then Ethan Moran, who looked like he had the lead on that back straightaway, comes through third and 57.76. And on the outside there, it was Caballero who had the lead. He had some challenge from Rancy in 4 as well. But again, out of that quarter, that's when Keenan Allen really put in the work. And he comes across for the victory here in the B final, wins by over a second.
So a great look at that race from our crew, bringing you the coverage every day. And a reminder, our coverage will continue, multi-sport coverage every day. Still 3 more days of competition coming up. Be sure to take that in. And there's a look at the official results. Take us through that, Adam, and look at the times.
56.14 for Allen. Again, really wasn't in the conversation about halfway through that B final, but good, really strong final 100 meters. Got him across the line in first. Caballero 57.43, then Moran 57.76.
an exciting B final here in the 400-meter men's hurdles. And an exciting one coming up is the A final just around the corner, with medals on the line for this one. There you see the athletes making their way out, making sure their starting positions are where they want them. Adam, just looking through the start list, is there any potential favorites in those names that may pop out at you?
Ryder King from Ontario is going to be in lane 4. He was the fastest in the prelims. He picked up the bronze medal in this event at the Canadian Championships earlier in the summer. But one name that is not going to be in this A final is Ben Tilson. He is the reigning Canadian champion. He was disqualified in the prelims, so that really opens the door here.
So one more race to go here tonight on this Friday evening. A chilly Friday night in St. John's. Not letting anyone stop. The weather certainly not getting in the way of fans taking in this action. Certainly a lot of intensity when medals are on the line.
Absolutely. There's a look at Kareem Slim from Quebec. He was 4th in the U20 race at the Canadian Championships.
So here we go as the warm-ups starting to finish up. Athletes getting ready. A reminder, following this race, a short intermission in between, we will have the medal presentations, as our PA announcer will go through everybody who has taken home a medal here today at the track in this beautiful Fortis Canada Games Complex.
And it's been a day full of finals. Saw the 100-meter finals, the 1,500-meter finals, and now the final of this day, the men's 400-meter hurdle final.
There you see intensity picking up. Another medal to be decided here in this 400-meter men's hurdles. Getting ready to begin.
That's James Kerr. He was another finalist at the Canadian Championships. Finished 8th in that final.
So there we see the athletes taking their warm gear off, getting ready to go. One more race on deck. Tonight we'll go over the lane assignments. In lane 1, from Nova Scotia, Ryan Vanderwall. In lane 2, from Saskatchewan, Rowan Reimer. In lane 3, from Saskatchewan, Carter Tuplin. In lane 4, from Ontario, Ryder King. In lane 5, from Quebec, Kareem Slim. In lane 6, from British Columbia, James Kerr. In lane 7, from Manitoba, Ihor Bresden. In lane 8, from Alberta, Ryan Haggerty. So here we go. So the men's 400-meter hurdles getting set to go. Medals on the line. And we are underway here in this 400-meter hurdles, and a great start in the outside lane by Haggerty of Alberta. But Bresden from Manitoba trying to chase him to take over the lead, and looks like he is getting closer. Just behind him is Kerr from British Columbia gaining ground as well. But a good charge from Bresden of Manitoba going into this turn, and big speed from Ryder King in Ontario gaining ground into this second turn on the wide side of the track, but still out front. It looks like Manitoba's Haggerty trying to chase his Bresden with the lead, and there's a pass coming up from Ontario, and Ryder King trying to hold on to it. He's feeling pressure from James Kerr trying to catch him. It's King and Kerr for a showdown for gold. It's gonna be Ryder King for Ontario, James Kerr for BC. And a close finish for third. We're gonna have to take another look at that finish, but certainly a big finish for Ryder King of Ontario, as he will scoop up the gold medal with dominance in this one, Adam.
52.03, King comes through in for that gold medal. Kerr 53.49 for the silver, and Carter Tuplin comes across to the bronze at 53.97. This was still a pretty close race on the backstretch. And then out of the turn, that is where Ryder King really took over. And after that final hurdle, he just pulled away from this field, and he ends up winning the gold by about a second and a half.
So we'll get a look at these final results when they are available. What a great way to end the night for Ontario with a gold medal. And certainly a wonderful performance from Ryder King. And there's a look at the final results.
52.03 for King, 53.49 for Kerr, and then Tuplin rounds out the podium with that 53.97 clocking.
So a big day here at the track, the beautiful Fortis Canada Games Complex. Adam, what a day it's been. Certainly the sport is in good hands in Canada as we look to this next generation.
Well, it was certainly an exciting day, a day full of finals, and you're absolutely right, Robbie, is the future of Canadian track and field is looking very strong, and saw a lot of those athletes who are going to play a big role in that future in action here through these first 3 days.
So there you have it. Friday at the Fortis Canada Games Complex. in the books. Thank you for joining us, Adam. It's been a pleasure. I appreciate your expertise all week and for joining us and bringing this comprehensive coverage of the Canada Summer Games track and field. Athletics being a wonderful part of these Canada Summer Games. It was certainly exciting to be here and witness it. So on behalf of Adam, big thanks for joining us. A reminder, multi-sport coverage coming tomorrow and Sunday as well, and that includes the closing ceremonies on Sunday night from the Mary Brown Center. So be sure to tune in. For Adam Dunphy, I'm Robbie Doherty. Good night from the beautiful St. John's, Newfoundland and Labrador in the 2025 Canada Summer Games. Well, thanks for sticking around for our coverage. A reminder, we will have coverage of the medal presentations coming up momentarily. Several different categories for all the medal winners here today, and it was certainly an exciting one. The PA announcer will take over those presentations, so thank you for joining us here. Stay tuned for the medal presentations.
I just wanted to bring it to your attention so that you would correct it in the future. Yep.
Medal ceremony is hosted by Fortis and North American Leader Energy Delivery. And the winner for the medalya received an Africa Equinel from the sponsor of the 2025 Canada Games. Equinox Gold, welcome our medalist for the 100 meter. la médaille d'or qui va maintenant à Gabrielle Cole de l'Ontario, Ontario. Congratulations to our medalists. Félicitations à nos médaillistes. Nos médaillés. The next round of medals should be for the 100-meter men.
So, what about the soccer? I saw her doing it. Should have stopped. Should have stopped. You guys my goodness, tear down the hands. Hey. And we will be welcoming our medalists for the men's 100 meter, nos médaillés pour le 100 mètres des hommes. Thank you on behalf of the 2025 Canada Games. Au nom des Jeux d'été du Canada 2025, nous avons représentant notre commanditaire Fortis, our sponsor Fortis, Jessica Fisher. For our bronze medalist, pour la médaille de bronze, nous accueillons de Saskatchewan, William Ogwinibi. Okay. And for the silver medal, pour la médaille d'argent, de l'Ontario, Dominic Barrissy. Et pour la médaille d'or, for gold medal, Alberta, Keon Rude. Congratulations to our athletes. Félicitations à nos athlètes. For the next event, the next medalists we will be presenting to the men's 100-meter ambulatory. Nous présenterons les médailles pour les hommes du 100 mètres ambulatoire. And we want to thank our cadets from Newfoundland and Labrador for being our flag bearers. On veut remercier nos cadets de Terre-Neuve et Labrador pour porter nos drapeaux. On behalf of the 2025 Canada Games, au nom des Jeux du Canada 2025, nous réaccueillons Jessica Fisher, qui représente notre commanditaire Fortis, representing one of our big sponsors, Fortis. Receiving bronze, pour la médaille de bronze, accueillons de l'Ontario, Hudson Booth. And for the silver medal, pour la médaille d'argent du Québec, Étienne Rowe. Et pour la médaille d'or, the gold medal, welcome from Saskatchewan, Brandon Cote-Williamson. Congratulations to our medalists in the 100-meter ambulatory. Thank you, everyone, for staying with us and supporting our medalists. We are likely to have, as a next presentation, medalists from the men's hammer throw pour le lancer du marteau. Okay, let's welcome our men's from the field event of hammer throw. Canada 2025, nous accueillons un autre représentant de Fortis, another representative from Fortis, the Executive Vice President, le vice-président exécutif Gary Smith. For the bronze medal, pour la médaille de bronze, accueillons de la Colombie-Britannique from BC, Mason Adulajevic. Thank you, everybody. Nobody had warned me. I asked for clarification. So I'm being told, what discipline are you guys from? Triple jump. Well, thank you very much. All right, let me see what I have in triple jump. I am sorry, but I do not have. I do not have the scripts for triple jump, guys. I am sorry. I cannot really take that from you. I appreciate your help. I don't know. Amanda, do you... And do we still have Gary Smith from Fortis presenting? Yes, awesome. Thank you, Mr. Gary Smith. All right, I believe we have it now. Bronze medal, médaille de bronze pour nos athlètes patients, for our athletes so patient and understanding. But from Manitoba, Adebare Agedbosen. And for the silver medal, pour la médaille d'argent, from British Columbia, la Colombie-Britannique, Lachlan Irish. And for gold, pour la médaille d'or du Manitoba, from Manitoba, Dax Turner. Congratulations to our athletes and apologies for wrong names at the start. Thank you to our medalists. Merci à nos athlètes et félicitations pour vos performances. Congratulations to your performances. Getting ready and welcoming now for the hammer throw. Pour le lancer du marteau, our men's from the field of track and field. Of the 2025 Canada Games, au nom des Jeux d'été du Canada 2025, notre même représentant exécutif, vice-président, vice-président, Gary Smith to present the medals. Receiving bronze in the men's hammer throw from British Columbia, Mason Adulajevic. For silver medal, pour la médaille d'argent de l'Alberta, Alberta, Sean Reamer. And for gold, pour la médaille de l'Alberta aussi, from Alberta, Jake McEachern. Congratulations to our athletes. Félicitations à nos athlètes. Our next medalist will be from the relay of 4 by 100 meters. Les prochaines médaillées seront du relais 4 fois 100 mètres chez les femmes. We're waiting for our athletes. Do we have our women's 4x1 relay ready? All right, we come together. For the 4x100 meter relay, representing the 2025 Canada Games, on behalf, of the 2025 Canada Games, we now welcoming many counselors of our own city of St. John's. So for the bronze medal, I would like to invite the city of St. John's Tanya Hayward to present the bronze. For the bronze medal from Manitoba, we have I'm sorry about that. Alutolo, Jordan Davis, Lillian Waldner, and Kyla Findley of Manitoba. And for the silver medal, I would like to welcome from the city of St. John's, Councillor Carl Ridgely. For the silver medal, pour la médaille d'argent, l'équipe de Saskatchewan, Selena Kewaski, Haley Woodhouse, Timmy Adelogbougba, and Grace Ibigi. From British Columbia, congratulations to Jordan Reed, Jalen Cummings, Alexia Latour, and Hannah Sobokwich. Congratulations to our 4 by 100 meter relay ladies, women. Squeeze together for the last picture of the moment. Les femmes du 4 x 100 mètres. Next, we will be welcoming our women's high jump. Les médaillés des femmes du saut à la hauteur. Are we ready for our ladies' women's high jump? Are we ready for women's high jump? On behalf of the 2025 Canada Games, au nom des Jeux d'été du Canada 2025, nous accueillons maintenant notre maire, our mayor, Danny Breen, to present our medals, pour présenter les médailles. Pour la médaille de bronze, for our bronze medal, du Québec, Laurie Boisvert. Pour la médaille d'argent, for the silver medal, du Manitoba, Lara Denbo. And for gold, pour la médaille d'or, de la Colombie-Britannique, British Columbia, who had to attempt multiple times try to beat her own record. Great job to Isla Stewart. Congratulations to our medalists. Félicitations à nos athlètes médaillés du saut en hauteur, of the high jump. Next medal presentation shall be the men's 4x100 meter relay. I believe we have our men's ready. Yes. And on behalf of the 2025 Canada Games, au nom de GDT du Canada, nous invitons maintenant le maire de St. John's, the mayor of St. John's, Danny Breen, to present the medals. For the bronze medal, pour la médaille de bronze, de la Saskatchewan, Alufemi Akimbai, Liam Oster, Jeroen Powell, and Williams Ogunumbi. Pour la médaille d'argent, for silver medal, from Québec, du Québec, Zachary Elkin, Michael Allaire, Gabriel Monpoint, and Jaden Elkin. And for gold, but I apologize, I don't think we have the mayor with us. Do we? Oh, okay, now we do. Okay. Our Mayor of St. John's, Danny Breen, will present gold to from de l'Ontario, Ontario, William Batley, Tamewi Lindo, Dominic Barassi, and Travis Campbell. Congratulations to our medalists of the 4x100 meter relay. Félicitations à nos médaillés du 4x100 mètres relais. Next round of medals shall go to the men's 1,500 meters. Are we ready with our men? On behalf of the 2025 Canada Games, au nom des Jeux d'été du Canada 2025, nous accueillons a member of the Newfoundland and Labrador Legislature, Jody Wall. Pour la médaille de bronze, and for the bronze medal from Nova Scotia, la Nouvelle-Écosse, Silas Colin Morse. Pour la médaille d'argent, silver medal from Saskatchewan, de la Saskatchewan, Jonathan Podbelski. Et pour la médaille d'or, for the gold medal du Québec, Robin Lefebvre. Félicitations à nos athlètes du 1500 mètres sur la piste. Congratulations for men's in the 1500 meters track. We will be welcoming our medalists of the women's 1500 meter. Thank you everyone for staying around. I know it's cold. Wind is picking up. But we have one more, and this was a strong battle in a 1500 meter women's. And on behalf of the 2025 Canada Games, au nom des Jeux d'été du Canada 2025, nous réaccueillons membre de la législature, member of the Newfoundland and Labrador Legislature, Jody Wall. Pour la médaille de bronze, bronze medal goes to Ontario, Ali Nelson. And for the silver medal, pour la médaille d'argent de la Saskatchewan, Hannah Gates. Et pour la médaille d'or, and for the gold medal, again in the 1500 meter females, from Alberta, Jenica Swartz. Congratulations to our medalists. Félicitations à nos médaillés. And please stay around because we do have one more in the men's 400 meter. One more presentation, one more. Stay around and to support our medalists in the 400 meters hurdles. On behalf of the 2025 Canada Games, au nom des Jeux d'été du Canada 2025, nous réaccueillons membre of Newfoundland and Labrador, Legislator Jody Wall. For the bronze medal, pour la médaille de bronze of Saskatchewan, Carter Toplin. Pour la médaille d'argent, silver medal goes to British Columbia, Colombie-Britannique, James Kerr. Et pour la médaille d'or, for the gold medal goes to Ontario, Ryder King. Congratulations to our medalists in the 400 meters. Félicitations à nos médaillés pour le 400 mètres. Thank you everyone for staying and being supportive of our medalists of this event. This concludes we're done. Not women today, it will be tomorrow. The women's 400 meters will be tomorrow. And I'm sure I cannot confirm what time, but it shall be in the afternoon, a medal ceremony. Yep.